If you don't know what that was Popcat, one of the biggest memes over the past few years. As well as being the sound that I use probably the most to annoy my girlfriend with, it's also been one of the strongest bouncing coins over the past day. I'm going to look at Popcat and 3 other coins that have showed strength and take a general look at the market overall. You can currently see on CoinGecko that the biggest Solana meme coins are Bonk and Dog with Hat, which are both around 1.7 billion market cap. Popcat is 500 million market cap, so it's around a 3x behind them. However, let me show you something very interesting over the past day from Kaito AI's token mindshare feature. So we can see that Popcat, this is out of all of the meme coins by the way, we can see that Popcat has more token mindshare compared to Bonk and Whiff. This says to me that there are a lot of people interested in Popcat and there might be a disparity between the market caps. So I think that there's some room for Popcat to keep pushing and try and close the gap between Bonk and Whiff in terms of market cap. Looking at the Popcat chart, we can see a big area of support here that held 1, 2, it broke through and then broke through again. And the most recent touch is held the support at around the 37 level, and then it's bounced. And you can see it's ranging in between the 2 green areas that I've marked out. Now, because it's at resistance, I'd be a bit hesitant to buy in right now, but I like that it's held this support 3 times and bounced away. So what I'd like to see is a push above this level now to close above it, and then that would show us that there's real strength within Popcat and that it's looking to push further on back up to the all-time high level of around 65 cents. And then we want to see break through the all-time high and keep running higher than that. Like I said, I'd be a bit hesitant to buy in right now, but I think there's a good area to buy around the green line, 45 cents on a dip. That's been a support area before, and you can see it's acted as resistance before. So because it had a pretty big move off the bottom, it had around a 30% move off the bottom, we'd expect some pullback, which I think is happening now, into this area of resistance. So if you want to buy bags of Popcat, I would wait for it to come down to maybe this level. If you're very lucky, it'll push down to the support level I showed you on the daily chart, which is where a lot of buyers have previously stepped in and we'd expect them to do it again. If it breaks comfortably above this 54 cent level, I think it's just going to push to the old all-time high and then push higher. Popcat is also already on quite a few decent exchanges. We can see it's already on Bybit, which I'd consider tier 1 exchange, and it's already on Gate and Crypto.com. There's been quite a few rumours already for the past few weeks in the chats that I'm in that Popcat is going to get a Binance listing. I think if it gets the Binance listing, that would be a time to actually sell this current run-up, as Binance listings for meme coins tend to be a local top. And when I say local top, I mean a top for not forever, but for the current momentum. But over time, having a Binance listing would be massive for Popcat, as there's not as many memes on there as there are other exchanges. I think if it gets the listing, it'll do the listing dump, and then it will go to at least a $1 billion market cap coin. So at least a 2x from now. Let's talk about another coin that's been showing strength in the market, and that is TIA or Celestia. We can see on Kaito's token mindshare feature again that TIA has taken up one of the highest mindshares out of all the coins in crypto. One of the reasons why Celestia has so much mindshare over the past day is because of some tweets by a very famous trader called DeFi Squared, who used to be the number one, or still is, the number one ranked trader on Bybit, which means that they have the most profit on Bybit over time. DeFi Squared argued that even though Celestia is down 80% from its highs, it actually has some of the most useful activity in terms of blockchain infrastructure. The main thing for me that DeFi Squared pointed out is that many traders were attempting to short Celestia, which turned the funding rate for Celestia negative. When the funding rate is negative, this means that people who are short have to pay funding to people who are long, which creates conditions that are ripe for a short squeeze. Now, one of the main reasons why Celestia dropped so much was because there were a lot of tokens to be unlocked. DeFi Squared argued that they're still over 100 days away before those tokens became unlocked, and with the Ethereum ETF on the verge of being approved and starting, Celestia was a very easy target to be short squeezed and push the price up. Looking at the chart, we're just reminded how crazy strong Celestia was earlier on in the bull market. We can see that since DeFi Squared's tweets, it squeezed all the way up to around 730, which is a big area of resistance that I've mapped out. I'd be once again hesitant to buy right now just because of the big move off the bottom. One thing I like a lot about the TIA chart is something I noticed on the 3-day chart, which is it hit the oversold level on the RSI. Now, people who've watched my previous videos know that I like these signals on, especially on higher time frame charts. With TIA dropping nearly 80% from its high and also reaching this oversold level, I think is a good buy for long-term spot bags. It's quite rare that you get a coin reach the 3-day oversold level, especially one that had so much momentum as TIA. I think there's a lot of room for this RSI and momentum to keep pushing up until the end of the year, and definitely up until the token unlocks, which are DeFi Square mentioned are around 100 days away. It's quite common for coins to be pumped into big unlocks so that they're able to be dumped at higher prices. I think this is what will happen with Celestia, and I think it'd be good to buy dips to ride that wave before these big unlocks happen. Going back to Kaito AI and its narrative mindshare feature, we can see that DeFi has been the strongest narrative of the past 7 days. Because the majority of DeFi is on Ethereum, and because Ethereum has lots of attention regarding the Ethereum ETF, it makes sense that there's going to be a lot of attention around Ethereum DeFi, especially when you have big players such as BlackRock talking about tokenizing everything in the world on the Ethereum blockchain. Looking at the Aave daily chart, you can see this area of support between around $78 and $82. It's hit this area of support 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and every time it's bounced away, which it's doing right now as well. With this current strength in Aave, I would expect it to at least reach this resistance level of around $100. However, I think with all the current attention on the Ethereum ETF and DeFi, it can push towards the higher resistance of around $110. When you zoom out on the Aave chart and switch to a weekly chart, you can see that it's been ranging between about $52 and $110 since May 2022. You can see price has just been bound within this range. It had a fake out where everyone thought it finally broken out of the range, only to break back into it. But it once again looks like it's pushing towards the top of that range. Once it breaks out, it's very likely that you get a big expansion. When you have these accumulation periods of over a year, the push outwards out of that range tends to be very big. You have the RSI for Aave on the weekly around the 50 level as well. Coins tend to pump and then retrace to around the 50 level before they start pushing again upwards, which I think is what's going to happen with Aave over the next few weeks and months. I'm sure everyone knows about PeiPei, probably the biggest meme coin of this cycle. But do you know about PeiPei, which is Chinese PeiPei? I know it sounds stupid, but look at the volume that this coin is doing. So these are all the meme coins sorted by volume, and it's doing more than coins which have 5 times the market cap or 4 times the market cap. It shows the amount of attention that this coin has, and you can see it's the best performer over the last 7 days out of all these bigger volume meme coins. With all the crazy volume that PeiPei has been doing, I'm not surprised that PeiPei listed it, although not as a spot listing but as a futures listing. However, because it's already a PeiPei futures listing, it's also quite likely that it will become a PeiPei spot listing. And once you get a PeiPei spot listing, the chances of a KuCoin or a Binance or Crypto.com exchange listing go up as well. Other exchanges are going to notice all the crazy volume this coin is doing, and it's going to catch their eye. Looking at the PeiPei chart, we can see that there is a resistance area around 1710, which it broke through, and then reached another resistance area around 2600, and it then went from 2600 back down to the support level of 1700. Let me just mark this up better. Back here, and it once again bounced away, hit the resistance again, back to support, and then it finally broke through the resistance over the past day. Now we know it's done crazy volume, so the breakout is a pretty strong one. However, in the short term, because the RSI is in the green overbought area, which to me indicates that I would wait for a pullback if I wanted to buy into PeiPei. I think you can wait for it to dip back to the purple support areas here, which is roughly around a 23% drop you're looking at there, which would be a good time to scale in, or not scale in, it would be a good time to buy PeiPei if you believe that the structure is going to hold. And when I say the structure is going to hold, I mean you have a low here, a low here, then you have your higher low here, and then it broke through. You want it to dip down to make a higher low here before it pushes on and does something like this. With the Bybit futures and the potential Bybit listing, I think this is a pretty good possibility of a long-term play. So the RSI would reset from the oversold level to around the 50 level, which would push the price down to the 27 level, around that support region, I think. Reset that, and then it can push again higher. Thank you for watching today's video with Popcat. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment if you have anything to say about the coins I've mentioned, or if you want me to look at any coins. See you on the next one.